What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling... What are you feeling today, Cancer? Fantastic today. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just incredible, Cancer. So much I don't even have the words for it. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for, well, at least an interesting journey. So the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Mercury, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Gems, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. Now, Cancer, we're on a new lunar cycle. So, hope you're all feeling good. Hope we got our intentions set. Thinking about what we're going to get started here. Get pumped, Cancer. And if not, no pressure. We can think about this right now whenever you happen to be watching this. And you know what? Take your time, Cancer, because the moon is going void, of course, today. Well, the moon is going to be going void, of course, at about 12:50 in the afternoon, and that's going to be Central Time. And then she'll be moving from Taurus into, Taurus into Gemini at about 1:47 in the afternoon. So we're really looking at about a 57-minute void, of course, there time, Cancer. So you got a little under an hour to think about this thing. I'm kidding. Take your time, Cancer. We got the whole lunar cycle. But with the void, of course, this is a great time for just meditation, doing some introspective work, recharging your batteries, just kind of checking in, see what energies that might have been clinging to us, just doing some observation there, Cancer. Make sure that everything's feeling well. And then also, with this energy, you may notice that your plans may be subject to unexpected changes, and then that people may be less likely to make decisions during this time. So just another thing to just kind of pay attention to there, Cancer. And then with the moon being in Gemini, my moon's in Gemini, so I'm just getting ready to come up on a lunar return. And you know what? Happy lunar return for all of you who happen to have a moon in Gemini as well. While I'm even talking about that, lunar returns. Just like how the lunar cycles are about setting that intention, thinking about the bad habit or any kind of bad habits that we want to either correct or new ones that we want to implement. The lunar return is just for that, thinking about those stuff. It happens, once a month, right before, usually right before the new moon cycle. So just something to think about there, Cancer. The moon's always just trying to set us up for success there. But with the moon being in Gemini, this is a very kind of active moon setting. Anytime the moon is in an air placement, just going to have a very kind of overactive type of mind. But the nice thing is, Gemini's, they're the sign of the communication. So it's a great time for talking with friends, maybe getting with loved ones, family, business even, pitching some ideas. This is a great energy too, because it's very, the Mercury ruled, they're very, very intelligent. So this is very much about, if you got any kind of education or any kind of studying that you need to get done, any kind of courses you want to learn, anything, I don't know, want to pick up a language, Cancer, why not? Moon and Gemini energy, this is great for just that learning process there. And then couple that with the new moon phase. Gemini, get to thinking of, use those creative juices there, Cancer, because Gemini is very inventive energy. The new moon cycle is about planting the seeds that you're, planting what you desire. The new moon is just limitless possibilities. The world is your oyster. What do you want to manifest? What do we want to get started? Clarifying your intentions. We're on a new beginning. Make a wish, Cancer. This is, and even too, when you think about the new moon, you're doing some healing too, especially, if we're learning, working on like a new routine or, letting go of some kind of thing that lowered our vibration. This is wonderful energy, Cancer. So, really, really enjoy this stuff here. And then last couple of things. These readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested there, Cancer. I love it. Cancer, that's how we start off a lunar cycle. You got, for our general energy of the day, you got one of our cards, the 9th card of Cancer, which is the rainbow card. Let me tell you why I'm pumped. Because this is a card, you remember that wish that you made? Well, this is a card of wish granted. Serendipity, blessing, patience pays off, abundance, hope, good luck, patience, promise, godsend, creation, manifesting wealth, prosperity, and perfect timing. Cancer, are you feeling good about this lunar cycle? Because I am. Because that's what this is saying. What does abundance mean to you? What do we need to do to feel blessed? And you know what, Cancer, just feel blessed. Because think about all the progress that you've made up until this point. Think about, and let that be, fuel too. An incentive to keep this trend going. Think about all the ways that you've leveled up, because sometimes it's like, when we get to this place of expertise, whatever this was, maybe we were working on getting a workout routine, or maybe we were working on our mental health, practicing some affirmations, maybe we've been meditating more, and if we've noticed that this stuff is sticking, I mean, Cancer, this is like 9 of Cups all day. You keep doing this stuff here, that's how we create 10 of Cups, and like our happily ever after, our dream come true, but I feel like this is something where it's just like this here, it is all within you, Cancer. And it sometimes it does. It takes a little patience, it takes a little work, a little tenacity. But when we're remembering what the end game is, that rainbow, it makes this whole journey worthwhile. Even like the adversities and stuff. That just, if anything, if the bigger the adversity, the bigger the reward. That's just something to think about, Cancer. And think too, higher self would never put you throw on more than you can't handle. And and here's the thing too, if we are having trouble, thinking about what that next chapter looks like, what do I want to create? What does that look like? Then, like I was talking with that Gemini energy, communicate, maybe have someone we can have like a sounding board with, but that's what I am talking about. And I mean, with Venus being in our sign for, at least for another week or so. I mean, come on, Cancer, feel abundant. Jupiter just got into Taurus, is going to be forming a sextile with our sign the rest of the, it's an abundant energy right now, Cancer. And I'll tell you what, I've been mentioning this. Manifestation has been hot, but it's only when we've been putting in that work and, and letting go of those things, and then incorporating just more positive things that just get us, oh, Cancer, I love it. Let's get some tarot on this. Oh. Okay. All right, Cancer. So I see some royals here. We got the, okay, I'm with it. So you got the Tower here and the Queen of Swords upright, and then we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. And you know what? I feel like that, when it comes to going for this whatever, this dream looks like, Cancer, this abundance, there are going to be tower moments along the way. It's just one of those things that it's inevitable to happen. But I don't feel like, don't let that thing deter you, because the nice thing I feel like about Tower moments, like even though this one popped up upright, is that when we know that when we can embrace what Tower moments are bringing, because they're clearing space for situations like this. It's not just all doom and gloom. It's just like, there's something that's been preventing momentum, that's been preventing you from creating this happily ever after. This Knight of Wands, this is Leo's cards. First two decans of Leo, last decan of Cancer. And if there's something that's, preventing you from getting to this thing, Cancer, I feel like that we may need to create a Tower moment here. Or if we're going through this stuff and we're noticing that a Tower moment is going through and we're feeling a little hesitant, like, oh crap, is this the right direction? Cancer, if it's resonating with you, because the Knight of Wands, he follows his heart. He listens to his emotions, and if this thing feels right, he knows in his heart of hearts that it's going to bring his joy. We may have to, like we were saying, we may have to be a little patient, and kind of ride this storm out, see what lessons are trying to come from this situation. But when that dust settles and things starts to clear, then the beauty really starts to settle in. The understanding why we went through this thing even in the first place kind of comes through, and it makes just this wish fulfillment and all this stuff all the more worthwhile, because you put in that work, Cancer. You showed up and showed out and delivered. And it's just remembering that too. You're remembering that this is the end game here. We're working towards that abundance, and then whatever that is looking like for you. But we got to make sure that whatever this is that we're going towards is resonating with us, that it's keeping us in balance. And if we notice that there is some kind of dissonance there, it's not even necessarily that we may have to like abandon the dream. It's just like maybe it's like even just like pivoting the way that we're going about it, if that makes sense. But this is a strong start, because usually, after the Tower, it's the Star card. We start healing this stuff, from this, the tough thing that was shaping us for this abundance. And you know what? Sometimes abundance doesn't just come in like physical things, Cancer. It's not always material. It really can be, the knowledge of just like, what did I gain from this? Like, oh, I do have the mental capacity to power through this situation. Or, oh, I do know that I have the resources to do this in a situation. Or if I need to ask for help, that I can do this type of thing. This really, if we really, like how it's easy to really kind of find like all the crap and things in like a Tower moment, and just all the bad stuff. If we can even just find even like little nuggets of good stuff, like even just as small as those things, it just really makes your abundance grows and grows and grows and grows, and it really can do a whole perspective change, even on like a Tower moment. So, I mean, look at how this rainbow's shaping out here, Cancer. This is a strong start here. I like that. Nice, Cancer. You got the Lovers here, and then you got the Seven of Pentacles. And so, just when we're thinking about this happiness, this blessings, this abundance, this really is, especially if this is something where, like if we were thinking about, if we're not quite sure where we want to channel our energies, like, what does abundance look like for us? The Lovers can be, for me, like a connection with your higher self, really kind of journeying within, because all of the answers, this abundance, this hope and things, it's not outside of you, Cancer. It's all right here. It comes outside of us when we create it, when we feel inspired. And that's asking yourself those internal questions and listening, what's resonating. And that's why I say, us being a sign that operates from feelings and emotions. I mean, come on, Cancer, you get that under your control. I mean, it's the guidance almost it'll become just second nature to you. But it's asking those internal questions. What do I want to invest my energies in? What makes sense at this time? How can I make this grow? Do I need to start kind of small here and go big, or can I just go all in? How does that work? Because the Lover's card can also be a decision, Cancer. How do you want to go about about this thing? You know, are we you know, is this the path that like that feels right? You know, but Seven of Pentacles, you know, it's asking you, is this thing worth it? Is this what you've been feeding in there? Is this what you want? Or is this how your rainbow look? Is this what your wish granted? And if not, what can we do? What actions can we take to change things up? Because sometimes when things happen to us, if they didn't happen quite how we wanted, okay, then you know what? We gotta change the narrative. We gotta take some action and make some things. You know, we might need to flip that tower in reverse. So, you know, and take charge, Cancer. But something to think about. All right. I'm with it, Cancer. Now let's see what are gonna be some challenges when working with this energy. All right, let's see what we got here, Cancer. Oh, what's good, King of Pentacles? And you know what, Cancer? So a challenge, I feel like, with this King of Pentacles is, I feel like for some of us, it's like focus. Because see how he's really kind of concentrated on this candle here? He's really envisioning, you know, what does that look like for me? You know, he's like clear, like really going zen right now, trying to clear his head. What is abundance? You know, what is you know, what is prosperity? You know, how do I create this stuff? You know, this is like, if we're having troubles like getting that picture in our mind, maybe doing some things like this. Maybe if we find our peace, maybe looking out at water, you know, or maybe looking at a fire, you know, a campfire. Because I'll tell you what, you know, you've ever been at a bonfire, you know, and it's just like you get real zen, or even like a campfire, just kind of looking, your mind just sort of zones out. You know, I was even just telling someone, maybe it's like watching sports. And listen, if you're a sports fan, this is nothing against sports, but there are some times, not that I actively do this, but I've noticed that every time, like, especially when I used to work in the bar, if I ever needed to clear my head, I would just put on some sports channel and just kind of look at it and just like, man, even when I tried to form a thought, like nothing would happen. And it was just like, okay, now I'm zen, let's get, you know, but it can be even something like that, Cancer, but just something to get you, I don't know necessarily if folks, you know, whatever gets you zen and can get you really kind of focused on this thing, thinking about what abundance looks like for you, and then going out and getting that thing and making it a routine, making what, like, for example, I was just talking with someone about this. They were saying that like we're talking about like dreams and things, and you know, they want to be in this place where they can kind of like kick back. I was looking at to show me their vision board, and there was like this picture of, you know, with this laptop on a beach, and I was just like, you know, you have a laptop and you live, like, there are like several beaches around you. Why don't you go do that? Like, just even if it's like you can do that right now and be in that energy. And the more that you're in that energy, you're all blissed out and stuff, the more you're going to attract those blessings. And then that hope, that work is going to pay off. And we have to make, you know, something is making it a routine, because this is Virgo's card. This is the first two decans of Virgo, last of Leo's. And so he's making his fun, Leo, that growth, his creativity, Leo, he's making that a routine, Virgo. And then not only that, and when he's done, it's something that whatever he's working on is not just going to benefit him, but he's all about abundance in of being of service for others, so that everyone can revel in this abundance here. So Cancer, this is something where, you know, think as big as possible. You know, it's like, how can this raise yours and everyone else's vibration too? On top of that, you know, create something, and it can be like you're creating like a piece of art, and then you show someone, and that's inspiration. That, and to me, like, you've inspired someone. Like you that's fantastic. You're sharing abundance. So just something to, I mean, some powerful stuff that's going down here, Cancer. When we're thinking about this, you know, on the somewhere over the rainbow, you know, there's a King of Pentacles. So be thinking about that, Cancer. I like that. Interesting. Okay. So you got the Hanged Man here. And then you got the Ace of Cups in reverse. And so that's a big thing, Cancer, you know, because when we're thinking about this abundance, it really is what's resonating with your heart. You know, it's more than just like looking for stuff. You know what I mean? Stuff is definitely like a factor in the grand scheme of things, but it's just like, what are we going to do? What would feel right to get all of this stuff, all the abundance, your happiness, joy, fulfillment? Because Ace of Cups, you know, this is like the thing that's, you know, your cups are overflowing, you know, that it's when you're doing it, it doesn't matter if we're, you know, that thing that it doesn't matter if you got paid or not for, you just love doing it. And then like you're feeding the universe with abundance and creativity and things. And man, that stuff comes back to you tenfold, Cancer. But again, if something is not feeling right with this Ace of Cups, Cancer, your intuition is really important, you know, just in general. Pause for a second. If we notice that maybe if we've been working towards these goals and we've been just like been setback after setback after setback, the Hanged Man asks us to pause for a second and think, you know, what is it that's what needs to change? What do we need to pivot, you know, because if we keep going at the same thing and expecting different results, you know, it's just going to push that. It's just going to push your fulfillment and things just further along down the road here. But I feel like even this, just even thinking about this promise here, that can be almost like even thinking about like making a promise to yourself to listen to your inner guidance system, to make that thing a routine, to fill up all of your cups, and then watch, Cancer. There's abundance all around you. I mean, it's a wonderful thing, and you know, and I don't know if I mentioned this, but even just like Cancer, even the stuff that I know we all want to manifest more, absolutely, but taking a moment to just even be grateful for what you already have, you know, to just even just those kind of moments too. When you really are intentional with where your energies are at, it really does change. You'll notice your vibration is a little bit different. That frequency that you're tuning into it's different. It's serendipitous. And it's where the magic happens, you know, and so just something to think about, Cancer. Alrighty, let's get some advice from Mercury. All right. Absolutely. So you got the Five of Wands up right here, and then you got the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Cancer. And with this Nine of Pentacles, it's one thing, it's like I was telling with that friend, it's like you can sit there and just dream about all this stuff and leave it on the vision board, or why don't you actually start doing some of this stuff right now? And even if it's not like, you know what I mean? Just like the Nine of... This rainbow card gives me like Nine of Cups, you know, feeling that. It's one thing to just feel that energy, Cancer, but it's another thing to make that happen, you know? So it's, because this, even like the Nine of Pentacles, it's like, how do I want to put this? It's pre-Empress energy, you know? It's when we're working on these things. And I feel like that, you know, the Five of Wands, yes, it can be a card of conflict, but if there's any conflict in our lives, you know, this card asks us to brainstorm and figure out how we can reduce this conflict. What's getting in the way of this dream that we have here, and then working on this stuff. And I tell you, Cancer, it really is like when you start being in that energy and working on how you can really start applying this stuff. It really does. It gets you just closer to leveling up towards that thing in the grand scheme, Cancer. And you know what, Cancer? Just kind of thinking about that too with the Five of Wands. If we're telling ourselves, we're kind of at conflict because if this thing seems like we may feel like we don't have the resources for it, or that we, like there's just this thing, because here's my thing with the resources. Just like I told that friend, it's like you don't have the, like they want like all these cars and the houses and things, and it's like that's dope, but okay, you don't have that stuff right now. What do you have? So that, while you're planning this stuff, let's you that person on the beach, let's be you on the beach planning what your next steps are, thinking about how we can assuage that thing. So at least you're getting used to your new environment that you're building up as well. That's just one example, when it comes to that. But if you've been wanting to make more time to paint, carving out little let's go ahead, if we've been kind of hesitating on getting like art or like I don't know, paintbrushes and things, go for it. However this is looking, Cancer, but really, just go for it. It's your happiness here. Absolutely. And here's hubby. Absolutely, Mark. I love it. King of Swords here. And you know what? Let's switch back over here, Cancer. Because with the King of Swords, first two deacons of Gemini and the last of Taurus. And when we just got out of Taurus energy, thinking about that security. And actually I like that, it's kind of like he's like where we're at right now. We're at the void of course between Gemini and Taurus. But, and I do actually really kind of like that. Look at you, about to be profound. It's like thinking about the security, Cancer. It's one thing to, I feel like with the King of Swords, it's one thing to think about, what would make you secure, to ponder all these ideas and all these dreams and wishes. We can dream of wishes and rainbows and unicorns till the sun goes down. But in order to get that wisdom, and get that security and stuff, we have to put it into action. We have to take these ideas and get curious. You see, do some research, figure out what we can do to start manifesting this stuff. And when we get that clarity, it all kind of locks in. The epiphanies start to come through, and here's the thing too, like how I was talking, being in that energy, when you're brainstorming on the beach there on your laptop. It's interesting how that works. It's just like the higher self is like, okay, now we're tuning in. Now they're basking in the energy. So it's like, now I can work with that. Here we go. Now we're, it just helps the manifestation start cooking. And that's really a great way to start nurturing those seeds, Cancer. So what a strong way to start off this lunar cycle, Cancer. You know what? By the end of this, absolutely, we're going to be king of coins, king of just royals. So I'm with it. All right, Cancer, I think I'm going to leave that there. So, if something resonates with you, give it a thumbs up, and definitely share this thing, Cancer. Let's get all Cancerians thinking about what abundance and happiness and spreading sunshine and rainbows all over the place. I support that all the way. And yeah, have them all subscribe to all these kings. Subscribe, hit that bell button, you're notified on all these videos each week. And then I'm on this app, Insight Timer. I started a group on there called Zodiacs Raising the Vibration. It's just a group for positive affirmations, encouraging messages, talk about your journey of abundance. What's your wish fulfillment? What does that look like? Let's exchange dreams and kind of monitor how we get towards those goals. Wouldn't that be fun, Cancer? And all that information for that's in the description box. And then the last little bit, speaking of the description box, I got some apps for you to check your sun, your moon, your rising, your Mercury placement. Check all that stuff, Cancer. Then come on over to my other channel, the Chariot Friends. I do videos weekly there. It's just a good old time, Cancer. And all that housekeeping, down in the description box below. But let me get you a surprise card here so I can get you out of here, Cancer. That is fantastic. You got the Fool in reverse here. And I like that because we're embarking on this new lunar cycle here, Cancer. What do you want to do? That's super. I just got chills just thinking about that. And you know what? Here's the thing, Cancer. don't be afraid to wish big. I feel like with the Fool popping up here, because the Fool is like this lust for life. This is about this Uranus energy. This is bringing about change, bringing about excitement. We're getting ready to get on to a brand new cycle, one apparently that of abundance. So yes, please. Don't absolutely jump. I will say, if I guess, if I had to do a little caveat with that, let's be mindful. I will say of maybe kings and maybe some queen. I see this lone queen here, maybe selling you some dreams here, Cancer. That's something to be mindful of too with the Fool, where just making sure to just double check. I wouldn't say. Well, yeah, I guess especially if you're talking about your wish fulfillment and stuff. I feel like, this might be one of those instances where we may want to look a gift horse in the mouth. But let's get your other oracle, or get your oracle card here. Okay. Alrighty. Let's see what we got here. I love it. All right, you got the 38th card here, which is the Cacao card, which is a card of initiation, Cancer. So look at that. And this is this planet ruled by Uranus and Venus. And I mean, how. So Cancer, if you're on the fence about something, if you're not sure, trust your heart. And trust that you're going to get it figured out. Even if we run into a tower moment, it's fine. Tower moments are going to happen, Cancer, but that just gives us a chance to pause for a second, But when you think about Uranus and Venus, what change would really just raise your vibration through the roof? Because Venus is of the small benefactor. She's about abundance. She's about growth and beauty and things. So I love that, Cancer. This is we're starting this lunar cycle off strong. So let's initiate, Cancer. Let's go out there, trust your intuition, go out there and claim that abundance. Let's go ahead and let's do this cycle. So I love that. I'm leaving it there. You stay safe out there, King of Pentacles. Think about what you want to do, maybe meditate with the moon under the new moon tonight. Actually, someone sent me this. They sent me this. Look at me, I'm on it. I was actually on Instagram. Someone sent me a message on there, this video about someone who's making this water, like new moon and full moon water. Like they'll take like some stuff and like sit it underneath the moon. So I'm definitely about to do that. So go ahead and make yourself some moon water there, Cancer. Manifest your abundance, be intentional, and I will catch you. Ooh, you know what? This is a great thing too. What a great thing to think about over the weekend, Cancer. Get pumped over the weekend. Stay safe out there. Enjoy your weekend, and I will catch you on the next one, Monday.